Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here today with you. And I'd like to thank Variety Magazine and Lifetime for their leadership, having the foresight to honor powerful women in Hollywood. I think it's especially cool that we're here today because you might not know that tomorrow is the International Day of the Girl. Very good. And I know you do know that behind every powerful woman, there was once a girl who had to find her voice, gather her strength, develop her intellect, and nurture her spirit. And often against many odds. Malala won the Nobel Peace Prize today. And I think it's especially powerful to ponder the fact that Reese Witherspoon first learned about Malala's incredible and astonishing story through her own teen daughter, Ava, the beautiful Ava. And they together decided to really take this cause into their hearts and support the Malala Fund, which works to give girls access to education around the world. I can't think of a more important mission. I was not at all surprised to learn that my friend Reese Witherspoon had taken this global cause as her own. She is that kind of person. She is committed and passionate. She believes in justice and equality. And I think at the root of that is kindness and love. She shares that with the people in her lives. I know many of you in the room know her personally. And she shares that with her audiences. I think about all of the amazing roles that she's taken on, from country western musical legend to sorority queen turned law student to woman who goes on a really long hike because she's lost her way and needs to find her way back. I think that those divergent roles really show us that in Reese's mind, there is no other. There is really only us. And what a powerful way to look at the world, to be an artist in the world and to be an activist in the world. I want to say, too, that so many of us, we hear these stories that make us upset, and then we do nothing about it. I think it's Reese's grit and grace, the light that she casts to the world, her humility, her generosity, her belief that any injustice to one person is an injustice to us all. She's done that in her personal life and on a world scale. I couldn't be more honored to present this award today to my friend, the extraordinary Reese Witherspoon.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. She just said the most beautiful thing to me. I said, "Did you bring your speech?" And she said, "I told them this morning my heart is my teleprompter." I mean, what are we talking about? Every time she speaks, I burst into tears. And I want to thank Ava Longoria for this incredible Apple Box, impromptu Apple Box. Short Women Unite. But thank you so much, Variety, for bringing us all together today. What an incredible room. Talking about Malala, I remember one day my daughter, when she was really little, she's 15 now, but when she was probably in 3rd grade, she said to me, "I don't want to go to school today." And instead of saying my usual, "Mommy is not awake yet, we can talk about it after I have coffee," I actually took the opportunity to explain to her that there are a lot of girls all over the world who don't get the opportunity to even go to school. And she was shocked. She asked me why. I told her in certain places that people control women by not teaching them to read and write. If you can't read, you can't vote. If you can't write, you can't create new laws. And my daughter found that astounding. And from that point on, Ava became determined to help others understand the plight of women around the world. Last year, when she turned 14, she showed me Malala Yousafzai's book, I'd never heard of Malala. When I was 14, I was worried about learning my lines and impressing casting directors. When Malala Yousafzai was 14, she was speaking out and against an oppressive regime and fighting for the rights for girls to be educated around the world. On the way to school one morning, a Taliban soldier boarded her bus, asked her for her name, and shot her in her head. Not only did Malala survive this horrible attack, but she went on to form the Malala Fund. And now, at 17 years old, she's the youngest person ever to be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. And again, I'm so proud to tell you today that it was announced that she won the Nobel Peace Prize today. I was so excited to get the email this morning. I shook Ava Wick. I said, Malala won the Nobel Peace Prize today. She's like, that's awesome, Mom. I'm going back to sleep. But Ava was the first person who told me about Malala, about how violently she was treated, how bravely she recovered, and how extraordinarily she stood up within her country against an entire culture of oppression. She faced threats from men and many religious groups for her outspokenness, and now she lives in London with her dad and her mom and her brother. And she travels the world raising money and awareness for women who have no educational opportunities. Her work on behalf of girls' education is truly inspiring. The fund's mission is to empower girls through a quality education so that they can achieve their potential and be agents of positive change in their communities. Over 31 million girls remain out of even primary level education, and a much larger number are dropping out just from basically not learning literacy. Over the past year, Malala has used the international attention that she received about her story to amplify and champion the voices of other girls globally. She has visited girls around the world, advocated for children's education with global leaders, and invested in community-centered, scalable solutions that provide quality education to girls in 4 countries: Nigeria, Jordan, Pakistan, and Kenya. Last year, Malala's support of the Global Partnership for Education helped result in over $28 billion in pledges to get all children into school, with a special focus on girls. I think it's really important to point out that Malala is not just some very beautiful, sweet little girl. She is a fierce young woman who has the courage to stand up even to world leaders. Even President Obama, when she met him, she looked him in the eye and confronted him on his foreign policy in the Middle East. When I met President Obama, I shook his hand and said, "Hey, it's really nice to meet you." Her courage and her vision is a true inspiration. She is my role model, standing up to what's wrong, helping those in need, and working to be a positive change and force in this world. Those are things that every single one of us can do. And we need to encourage this power in everyone. Seek out the people who support your vision, like Malala has her father and her mother, and just enhance it. This summer, we got to meet Malala, Ava and I. We got to have dinner with her at a friend's house, which was incredible. But she's just a regular teenager in some ways. She sat next to Ava at dinner, and they talked about school work and homework and what their life goals were. And Ava was just in awe of this 17-year-old woman who is making a difference in this world. But she just never stopped talking about her education, because her education is her biggest gift. I even heard today they told her in chemistry class that she won the Nobel Peace Prize. And she said, "Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, I need to finish my classwork." Amazing. My own mother always said to me, "If you want something done, ask a woman to do it." Actually, she said ask a Southern woman to do it, but I didn't want to be regionally specific. But that's why a few years ago, I asked another extraordinary woman, Bruna Papandrea, to partner with me to start a company called Pacific Standard Films to bring more interesting female characters to our screens. Our first 2 films are Gone Girl and Wild. Wild is based on the incredible memoir of Miss Cheryl Strayed, who inspires me every single day. If you haven't read this book, please read it, and please see the movie. But Bruna and I have been blown away by how many people are just so excited to bring us material and give us the opportunity to make films with strong female characters. We have definitely learned that where there's a will and a noisy Australian lady and a Southern know-it-all, there is a way. Just like so many of you here today, we are determined to create complex, dynamic, human characters that our mothers and daughters and sisters can all relate to and be inspired by. I've been lucky to work with so many powerful women, many of whom are in this room. Donna, Jennifer, Viola, and Jane. I don't even know where to begin. Jane Fonda, I don't even know how to even begin the love letter that I need to write to Jane Fonda. Your determination to see change in the way that women in this business are seen and in media and film and television is so important. And just like Malala, you use your platform to promote and inspire women to tell their stories and reach higher goals. I'm so grateful to Variety for giving us this opportunity to give lights to these wonderful causes, and I feel very lucky to be in your company today. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on your phone sheet tomorrow, trying to see how we can figure out how to save the world all together. So if you see a Southern girl on your call sheet, do a favor and call me back. Thank you.